Okay, my name is Qualified, and I call myself qualified because I am qualified to be speaking on whatever I'm speaking on when I'm speaking on it. And I'm not just subject to one qualification. And in this video, this is going to be part two. I should have labeled the first video part one, but this part two to this is going to be part two to what is it called? To where do roaches come from? So if you watch that video, you will understand that I broke down that roaches are a sign of bacteria, same as maggots. Maggots and roaches are bacteria that forms. This is just a brief summary of the video if you didn't watch it. Roaches obviously come from something that we eat in the house that's common in households that we don't get to in time enough to take out. And obviously they come from water because all signs of life come from water and need water to survive and thrive. Everything on this earth needs water in order to exist. Because you got demons and gods and goddesses so called that didn't emerge from water as they spirit form or whatever, angel form, and they emerge from water to walk this land. So bugs, as in maggots, flies. Flies come from maggots. Roaches are their own. Roaches are a sign, and roaches was what I say is a sign from hell, because when you read Revelations, it describes roach-like things that walk this earth and that will torture humans that has the mark of the beast in the last days for 60 days, months at a time. When the trumpets blow and the grounds crack and these beetle hard shell back, whatever, I forgot exactly what it is, they come, but it's in Revelations if you want to find it. They come out of the earth and they torture. No bullets, no none of that will protect you. So I'm gonna leave the link in the description, but I'm gonna play the video, a partial part of the video, and show you that roaches come from so and maggots are a sign of hell. I'm gonna play maybe like 4 to 5 minutes of the video just to show you that I know what I'm talking about. And this is something that I just stumbled upon a couple of days ago. But I've been knowing this because it's like it's common sense. Boy, that was the roaches. But and maggots come from forms of life that doesn't exist, but that exists. As in, maggots will form from a dead body. Maggots will form by garbage from trash that you ain't taken out, but it's not necessarily the trash. It's the water and bacteria that's there because maggots can form under a wet cup if you leave a cup there for a long time. So let me pull this video up so y'all can see this because I'm not the only person that thinks this. And it's crazy because I just stumbled upon this by just scrolling through. And they say the same thing. And they say that what they say is what their theory is that what they say, hold on, let me, oh, I just passed. So what their theory is and I'm looking at my phone because I saved it in my I saved it to watch later. Because they look off different religions in order to come up with this. Because this has been since ancient times. Maggots has been here since ancient times, the same as roaches. And can't no scientist tell you where they come from, but unless that scientist is in tune. And when I say scientists, I mean scientists because most scientists are white, and most white people with power, or most white people in general, don't believe in God. And there's more white people that don't believe in God than there is black people. Most black people are religious than white people. And whether they're Muslim or not, most black people believe in some sort of God. And Muslim is not the way to go. But I'm not gonna get into that. So and he posted this 5 months ago. Let me see when I posted my video. Uh Let me see, will it give me a time? I'm gonna probably have to click it. Oh, October 10th. What it is? What's today? Today is January 24th. So November, December, January. That was 3 months ago, but I didn't know about this video. So I'm just saying I didn't come across with I didn't get this from him. This is just something that comes to my mind. Like I say, things my mind speak to me, and I'm learning to listen to it. So if your mind speak to you in any part, in any way of the life, whether it say walk this way, whether it say talk this way, or whether it say pick this up, listen to your mind because that ain't nothing but your spirit telling you and talking to you. Your subconsciousness, which is part of your spirit, you would call it your subconscious, but it's your spirit. And I got a video coming out about that. And also, I'm not done with the Egyptian gods and goddesses. It's so much that I'm uncovering and I need to share with the world that I got other videos before I can complete that. And I got about like 2 to 3 more videos coming out on the Egyptian gods and goddesses. I just had to get them triangles out because I was talking about the Nile Delta, and that's what I came across. So that like you got to cover everything. But let me get this video up real quick. So and I'm gonna leave the link in the description for you to click the video if you want to watch the video. It's an hour long video, but I'm not gonna sit here and watch it. I done seen what I needed to see, and I probably play it to see what I need to see again for you to see it. So if you watch that Roach video, you will see what I'm saying. But if you didn't watch the Roach video, it will make you want to go and watch the Roach video. So it's crazy because things are coming out. Man, I don't even feel like typing the whole title in. That should pop it up. Bam, there you go right there. And look, he deal with it. Look, he putting the triangles up. You see that? He putting the signs up. That's I can't even go back. Let me see. He good. Look, the square, the triangle, the six triangle, 6 point star. Look at that. 6 point star, the hexagon, whatever you want to call it, not hexagon, octagon, whatever. Whatever. I think it's a hexagon, 6 points. Whatever. You see that? That's still the triangle, but let's click into it.
I want you to get together.
So obviously it's a longer video than this. Like this is an hour long, so he say full video link in description. So it must be longer than an hour long. Because this video is an hour long. And he got 400,000 views on it. So man, get my views up on this, on everything I'm talking about, because I'm talking about the truth, man. Everything that I'm putting out is the truth, and it's coming from the heart of the soul, because my soul is telling me these things. This stuff ain't coming out of nowhere. This is stuff that I know, and I'm reading these books and reading certain sections to verify my stuff. But let's get into the video.
So yeah, I made a slideshow connecting parasites to demons. And I looked into this topic through a biblical lens and I found a bunch of very, very interesting things. So go ahead, click on the next slide.
Yeah.
Okay, so before getting into all the weird stuff, let's take a look at what parasites mean in its, most simplest definition. So a parasite is an organism that lives at the expense of another organism, the host. In general, parasites share the following features. Parasites are usually smaller than their host and are both invertebrate and vertebrate hosts. So yeah, basically they're an organism that lives inside of a host and they benefit from the host suffering, basically. So go back to the other slide.
Oh, how do I go back now? Oh, there we go.
There we go. Yep. So I looked into a lot of ancient beliefs on parasites and the spiritual world, and I found two very interesting ones. The first being Taoists. So go to the next slide.
Those monsters holding dynamite.
The what?
It looks like they got dynamite or something in their mouths.
Yeah, or a scroll or something.
Or that.
So in ancient Taoism, there's a concept known as the three worms, right? And they fully believe that parasites are demonic, or at least connected to demonic spirits. So the three corpses, known as the San Shi, or three worms, are a Taoist physiological belief that demonic creatures live inside the human body, and they seek to hasten the death of their host. These three supernatural parasites allegedly enter the person at birth and reside in the three dantian, which are energy centers, respectively located within the head, chest, and abdomen. After their human host dies, they are freed from the body and become malevolent ghosts. So that's their belief on parasites. They believe that they're actually demonic entities influencing a human through all kinds of means. Through basically, they believe that parasites were like a biological agent or like a Bluetooth for demons or demonic spirits.
Mhm.
So click the next slide. Oh, so yeah, the three worms, the three corpses, they work to harm their host's health and faith by initiating sicknesses and inviting other disease-causing agents into the body, and they would report their host transgressions to the gods. So their entire purpose is to bring as much suffering as possible, and then eventually death. And then they become these spirits as soon as the body dies with the parasite, apparently. And then they report the transgressions of the host to the gods. So that was their belief on parasites. And then as we move on, we get into the biblical view of parasites. And we're going to talk about Beelzebub, Lord of the Fly. That's one of his titles. And in the Bible, he is known as the demon of filth. So the word Beelzebub means Lord of the Flies in Hebrew and Jewish literature. The name is
I gotta pause it right there to say this. Um, Lord of the Flies, Lord of Dung, Lord of Filth, where they say roaches come from. I say roaches come from bad habits, just to whatever they really do, which is still dirtiness. You're not cleanly, whatever cleansy as you should be. Maggots come from the same thing. Not taking out the garbage, hot air, hot house, not drying your towels out, not drying your clothes. I mean not clothes, not drying your dishes, leaving stuff wet, leaving things wet in the cabinet. But anyways, let's continue.
translated to mean Lord of Dung or Lord of Filth. Beelzebub was also known as the god of Ekron. Ekron is a city inhabited by the Philistines within the Bible. And on the topic of flies, go to the next slide. So it's interesting that he's called, Lord of the Flies, Lord of Filth, Lord of Pestilence, disease, and suffering. Flies apparently can carry parasites that can harm humans and animals. Houseflies can carry over 100 pathogens, including parasites like pinworms, roundworms, hookworms, and tapeworms. They can also carry bacteria, viruses, and fungi. Flies can pick up pathogens from their environment, including dumps, sewers, garbage heaps, and then transmit them to humans. And in other mythological beliefs of gods that are, connected to filth and disease and pestilence, they kind of have the same view that their god of disease and filth can send pestilence in the form of flies and different kind of diseases like a plague basically to whatever nation that it wants to punish. Are you able to see the parasites in fiction slide? But yeah, you could just stay here. Basically on the slide, I show two movies, the movie Faculty and the movie Venom, where it portrays parasites in like a fictional way, where there's like an alien parasite that takes over a human body and basically fully controls the host, right? So that's what the movie
Hmm.
is about. It's about these parasites that come from another world and they take over the teachers in this high school, right? And they cause them to be violent and evil. And again, many of us have seen the movie Venom, right, where the Spider-Man villain takes over somebody and causes them to do, dark and demonic things like kill people, eat people, and other
Also from
another world, right?
outer space too.
Yeah. So the motif.
I'm gonna pause it there because I ain't trying to make this video extra long for no reason. Um, this is their video, so if you want to view them and go like that or whatever, I'm gonna link it in. But let me go ahead get a Google page up and let me show you, right? They ain't got roaches quite figured out, right? They ain't got roaches quite figured out. So let me show you that they don't have roaches quite figured out. And I'm gonna show you in comparison with the maggots. So they, as you just seen from the video, they say that flies carry parasites, right? And if you know about tapeworms are inside of humans. They eat your inside. They make you eat more than what you should eat because you're feeding the tapeworm in yourself, right? So now you feeding the tapeworm and you feeding yourself, maggots form on their own. And I just recently asked the doctor. He gave me the best answer that anybody has ever gave me. I just recently asked the doctor, maybe a couple weeks ago. I asked a surgical doctor dealing with the butt and intestines. So he know about a little bit about filth. I asked him where do he think maggots come from. He said the eggs are already inside of things. And I like this answer, but he's wrong. And right, maggots form on their own. They're a form of life from bacteria, which what meets a virus. Bam. Maggots are parasites. Tapeworms are parasites. Flies carry parasites because maggots turn into flies. And like I said, when you watching scary movies and demonic possessed movies, what comes around when a demon is around? Thousands of flies. So let's get up. Does roaches or is a roach a parasite? So let's Google is a roach a parasite. What is a baby roach? Have you ever seen a baby roach? And you may have seen a baby roach. You ain't seen a little white roach. You ain't seen a roach give birth to little roaches. And I ain't talking about cockroaches. I'm talking about household roaches that walk around when you got mice and the house dirty and things like that. The house ain't even got to be dirty. The house can just be roach infested. Have you ever seen a roach give a birth to baby roaches? And you seen little white roaches walking around? You seen little white thousands of white roaches? And but I have. Cause and I'm just saying that because I know what I know. It's whatever. Judging me, whatever. Judge it, whatever. Think of what you think. So, um, is a roach a parasite? No, right? They're lying to you. They're lying to us because they don't know. They don't know. But the more you get to read different articles, you will find out that a roach is a parasite. A roach is a, a victim, a factor, whatever you want to call it, of a parasite. Just like I'm a product of my environment. A roach is a product of its environment. A fly is a product of its environment. Roach flies just don't fly and appear. Flies come from maggots. Everything got to start in a baby form. Everything you heard the saying crawl before you walk. Everything has to crawl before they walk. Everything is a baby before it's big. Whether you literally the biggest thing walking around or the littlest thing walking around, you was still once littler than what you think you were. Whatever it is, from animals, bugs to humans, and so on, so on. So watch this though. I mean, let me read this. Let me read this first. No, cockroaches. They say cockroaches. I'm not talking about no cockroaches. I'm talking about household roaches. So when you look up a cockroach is this. That's a fat, juicy, down south southern roach that's hissing at you. Them little household roaches don't hiss at you. They just classified them with roaches because they don't know where else to put them. This is a real life cockroach you would see walking down south in the house or something. These, let's see if they got an image of it. Let's exit out of that. This is a household roach. That's amplified. That's zoomed in. Them household roaches about like this. King roach, like that. The other one's like this. They looking like that though. If you can see the view, but you get what I'm saying. They looking like that. They walking around like that. But bam, let's take it back, man. It says no cockroaches are not parasites, but they can carry and spread parasites to humans and animals. What? What? Just like a fly can carry parasites, right? But it's not a parasite. A fly is not a parasite because a maggot is a parasite. But a roach forms from a parasite. So what do you call a baby roach? They don't have a name. So roaches is the most demonic bug there is to be besides a fly. So if just watch Fear Factor, anything dealing with hell, you got roaches crawling on you, maggots, and flies around. I just want you to soak that in and think that in into your head. I don't really have too much to say onto that, but I can go on and go on. I really can, but I don't want to say too much on that because it's it's up to you to figure it out. If you really want to believe this stuff, man, the truth is coming out. It's up to you to believe this stuff. I've been knowing this and seeing this It's just time for me to put it out. My version of putting it out. So now let's Google, is a fly a parasite, right? If a fly can carry parasites, it's not a parasite. But it is. That's just like if I can carry a woman, obviously I'm not a woman if I can carry a woman. If take that back, that's bad. If I can carry a baby, obviously I'm not a man because a man can't carry a baby. So you know I'm a woman. They say and they was carrying a baby inside. So you obviously know it's a man, a woman, regardless of what you think the gender is. It's a woman, obviously, if the person was carrying a baby inside. So if something is carrying a parasite, it has to be a parasite. That's like a bird is carrying a fly because it eats it. I mean, I take not a fly. A bird is carrying a, what do birds eat? Say a vulture. A vulture is carrying a cat because it eat it. It's a vulture. That's what you call it, a vulture, because it eats anything it can get his hands on. It's a vulture, but the real name for it is a bird. It's a roach because they don't specifically know what it is or they don't want to tell us what it is. So let's Google, is a fly a parasite? Yes, some flies are parasites. How? I'm not talking about a bee. A bee isn't a fly. Technically, a bee is a fly. It's in a fly family. But when you classify it down, a bee is Hymenoptera. A fly is Hepa. What is a fly? A bee is a Hymenoptera. Bees and ants are Hymenopteras in a class and phylum family. What is a fly? Diptera. A fly is a diptera. So a diptera is different from a Hymenoptera. And if you don't know what I'm saying, let's get that up real quick. Then I'm gonna end the video because I ain't trying to make it too long. So this is a bee, a bumblebee. A bumblebee stings and die. A bumblebee give you its pop. A bumblebee give you what it's supposed to give you during when it's trying to protect itself, and then it die. A fly don't do that. A fly continues to live after it bites you. A mosquito isn't classified as a fly. A fly is a zzz, smack it out my face. Get that thing out my face. An irritating little thing in the summertime that comes around. Them big old black little things, or medium sized black little things, or little gnats, fruit flies. Them are flies. So, bam, is a fly a parasite? Yes, it is. Obviously, we know a fly is a parasite because a maggot turns into a fly, just like a caterpillar turns into a butterfly. But caterpillars ain't maggots. They don't eat anything and everything. Maggots eat your body. Maggots eat doo doo. So let's Google if I'm right, because this take it back to school days. Let's Google what is a diptera. What the? Come on now. Come on now. I'm just off the top of the head with this. I ain't did this since eighth grade, ninth grade. A fly is in the class and phylum family, order, class, phylum, house, or some stupid stuff. Whatever, this is the order it's in. Flies are insects of the order Diptera. Order is the classification when you classifying something down. Our order is Humanalia or Animalia or something. We are humans, but we belong to the Animalia kingdom. When a scientist classify that stuff down, that's what the scientists got on paper. We are animalias because we got animal like instincts, is what they would say, because they don't believe in God. But we belong to the human order. Flies, or I may have it backwards, but whatever. Flies belong to the order Diptera. Bam. Right? Bam. That ain't man. Bumblebees is different from a wasp. So whatever, cause man, let me get that in real quick. That's a diptera. Let me get a hymenoptera in that, and it already know what I'm talking about. Hymenoptera. Hymenoptera is a large order of insects. Bees, wasps, bam, 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 bam. So why do it have a bee in this picture? Right? Why do it have a bee right there? That's why I say you gotta weed in, weed out on Wikipedia. You gotta really know what you're talking about to know what you're talking about when you go into Wikipedia. Because Wikipedia play them games. But at the end of the day, man, I just wanted to play that video and share them little thoughts. So, man, share this video, get it out there, get these views and stuff up. Because I'm knowing what I'm talking about, man. Be confident in your confidence and share my stuff. So until then,